Rain swept across Seattle as Olivia Hayes drove home after a long HR shift at Evergreen Tech, her mind numb with exhaustion. She was only minutes from her apartment when she spotted a stalled SUV on the roadside, its hazard lights barely cutting through the downpour. Something about the scene made her slow down, specifically, the faint silhouette of a child sleeping in the backseat. A man stood beside the vehicle, shoulders tense, rainwater running down his face. Against her usual caution, Olivia pulled over. The man turned toward her, startled but relieved. "Sorry," he said, voice rough with fatigue. "Battery's dead. My daughter's been sick, we've been waiting for help for hours." Olivia glanced toward the little girl bundled in a blanket, her breath shallow but steady. Compassion overpowered hesitation. "I live close," she offered gently. "You can both come wait inside. It's warm, and she shouldn't stay out here like this." He looked torn, pride holding him back, but desperation winning. "Thank you. My name's Daniel." Olivia stepped aside to let him follow, unaware that this simple act of kindness would reshape her life. She thought she was helping a struggling single father for one night, never imagining she was welcoming her future CEO. Olivia carried Lily to the guest room, placing her gently on the bed while Daniel stood quietly in the doorway, exhaustion written in every line of his posture. When they stepped back into the small kitchen, she handed him a towel and set a mug of warm tea in front of him. The rain tapped softly against the windows, creating a strangely peaceful backdrop to a night neither of them had expected. Daniel wrapped his hands around the mug as though absorbing its warmth. He apologized again for the inconvenience, but Olivia shook her head. "You don't need to apologize for taking care of your child," she said. Slowly, he opened up. He'd moved to Seattle for a promising job interview that fell through at the last moment. With rent deposits, medical bills for Lily's asthma, and unexpected expenses, he had slipped into a financial corner he wasn't used to. "I'm doing everything I can," he murmured, "but tonight, I ran out of options." Olivia listened without judgment, sensing the quiet strength beneath his struggle. "Everyone needs help sometimes," she told him softly. By dawn, when the tow truck finally arrived, Daniel thanked her with a sincerity that lingered in her mind long after he left. She had no idea she would see him again, much less in a conference room at Evergreen Tech. When Olivia walked into the executive conference room 2 days later, the last person she expected to see standing at the head of the table was Daniel. He was no longer the exhausted single father in a rain-soaked jacket. He wore a tailored charcoal suit, posture confident, expression composed. For a moment, neither of them spoke. She masked her shock quickly, reminding herself that everyone around them saw only the new CEO of Evergreen Tech. Throughout the meeting, Daniel addressed the team with clarity and authority, never once acknowledging that they had shared a quiet, vulnerable night only days earlier. Olivia took notes mechanically, her heartbeat unsteady. She kept her gaze down, afraid her face might reveal too much. After the briefing, as people began leaving, Daniel's voice stopped her. "Ms. Hayes, could you stay for a moment?" The room emptied, leaving only the two of them in the crisp silence. He waited until the door closed before letting out a breath. "I didn't know it would be here," he admitted. "I didn't know I would walk into this building and see you again." Olivia folded her arms, steadying herself. "We should keep things professional now." Daniel nodded, though something warm flickered in his eyes. "Professional, yes. But I still owe you more than you realize." In the following weeks, Olivia and Daniel settled into an unspoken rhythm, professional during work hours, quietly aware of one another in every shared space. Their interactions were polite, efficient, almost distant, yet tension lingered beneath every exchanged glance. Olivia respected boundaries, but her mind often wandered back to the vulnerable man she'd welcomed into her home, a version of Daniel the rest of the company would never know. One afternoon, she found him standing outside the HR office, phone pressed to his ear and worry etched deep across his face. The moment he hung up, he met her eyes. "It's Lily," he said, voice tight. "Another asthma episode. The school's sending her to the clinic." Olivia didn't hesitate. "I'll go with you." At the clinic, she soothed Lily while Daniel handled the doctor's questions. Watching her calm his frightened daughter, something inside Daniel settled, something he'd been fighting for weeks. When they stepped outside into the cool afternoon air, he finally spoke what he'd been holding back. "Olivia, I know we said we'd stay professional. I tried. But you've been there for me in ways no one else has. She swallowed, heart trembling. And you've changed my life without meaning to. He reached for her hand gently. Then maybe, we stop pretending. This time, she didn't pull away.